What's up everybody, I'm Derek, this is Rocking eForge, and today I'm going to show you how to forge a nail heading tool because I need to make one for one of my projects. So let's get rocking! So I'm starting off with a little piece of 3/4 inch round 4140, and this was just out of convenience. And I'm just going to neck off a piece that's going to become the nail header portion. And I'm going to do one of these on either end, one for a smaller nail and one for a larger nail. And I'm doing this just to isolate off the piece that I'm going to flatten out for the actual nail header, and to lengthen this out so I can have kind of a handle. Then I'm just going to extend this taper up. I'm going to flip this around and work on the other side. Just to lengthen out this handle a bit, so it's easier to hold on to with the tongs and I can actually get this flat on the anvil's face. This end is longer than this end. That's because I'm going to try to upset this to make it a little wider by locking it in the vise later and hammering down on it to make the header wider on this side than it is on this end. Now I isolated each end on opposite sides of the bar on purpose so that I could have this header portion off the edge of the anvil while I work on the handle. In the same vein, I can have the other end off the far edge of the anvil and work this portion of the handle without ruining this portion of the header. Now I want to get this handle down to about 1/4 inch square because that's how much I want to flatten down each header. Alright, so I've got this to about 3/8 inch square. I kind of like it where it's at, so I'm going to hexagon this up. I don't know if I'm going to take this handle to round or not. We got almost an inch. Next step I'm going to take is to flatten out one of these at a time and shape them as best I can. You might have noticed by now, I've been focusing my hammer blows toward the center, and that's going to end up with kind of almost a dish. And that has been intentional because, and I picked this up, I believe, from watching Black Bear Forge. For a nail header's best performance, you actually want this shape to dome out and this to be the widest point of the hole. So as I start to punch this, I'll try to explain that a little better. I'm using my square punch here and just eyeballing the center. Normally this would be the point where I start to back punch. However, you actually want, for a nail header, you want to continue punching through the same side that you've already been punching. And the reason for that is you want what's going to become the top of the header to be the slimmest portion of the hole. Now, as you can see, my square punch tapers, which means in order to make the part of the hole that you want the head of the nail to contact, the skinniest portion of the hole, you have to continue punching through the side that you were already punching on. What you're going to get out of that, first, as you punch through the hole, it's going to drag material with the punch, and it's going to create kind of a dome. That means that this portion of the header tool, that the surface directly surrounding the square hole of the header tool is going to contact your nail first, which will give you the sharpest corners of your nail. And two, since the hole is tapered away from the head of the nail, and your nail should follow a similar taper to this shape, you won't end up wedging the nail into the hole, because the taper of the nail and the taper of the hole are going in opposite directions, so you don't run the risk of riveting your nail into the header tool, which would be a pain in the butt to get out. / impossible, and probably ruin your header. Now I just want to make sure that the other side contacts the anvil. And I think it's fairly easy to see the difference in the size of the hole on either side. So I'd say that's successful, and it domed it just slightly, and I don't need it any more than that. I'm going to clean up that surface. On second thought, I think I'm going to separate these two into two different pieces, because there's not much point in having them connected. That just makes them a little more awkward to use. So I'm going to cut this down the middle and give it a nice taper. Now that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, drop a comment, hit subscribe, ring that notification bell. If you want to support me and the channel further, please consider becoming an honorary striker on my Patreon. Link is in the description below the video, and keep on rocking.